Hey everyone, and welcome to my channel. So this will be my first video on this channel. My name is Tonya and I am a lifelong reader and want to share my passion for books and reading, especially fantasy books, with you and just be able to interact with a great community of other like-minded readers. Now, I do have another channel. I have a soap making channel, so very different ends of the spectrum, but if that is something that also interests you, you can check me out at Bella Luna Soapery, and I'll have my channel linked down below in the description box. But it really doesn't fit into soap making very well to talk about reading and fantasy books, so I kind of needed a different place for that to live, so thought I would just start this channel over here. So in this first video, I'm just going to go over the books that I read in January and my different thoughts on them, and also talk about some of the books I'm looking forward to reading in February, since we're already in the month of February. Going forward, those will probably be separate videos, but for now, they're going to live together in this video. So as I had mentioned, I am a fan of all things fantasy, mostly high fantasy, epic fantasies. I love me a good trilogy or even longer kind of book series, but I do read a few standalones and some low fantasy as well. So this month I read 4 different books. Almost 5, but technically the 5th book I didn't finish till February 1st, so not exactly in January, but I did read Iron Flame and Onyx Storm, both by Rebecca Yarros. And that's a pretty popular book series, along with the first one, Fourth Wing, and I loved it. I read Fourth Wing in December. I hadn't really picked any of this series up before then and just got hooked. I love the interaction between the characters and that feeling of just being the underdog that Violet was and not doing things that are the norm and finding your own unique way of doing things. It is technically, I think, a fantasy romance, which the romance portion in between Violet and Xaden does play a big part in the series, but I don't think that's the full picture of the book. I think definitely that underdog portion and finding your own path to accomplish things that may not be the norm is like the bigger vein of the book series. And I loved it, love me a good dragon book, so was really happy to see that. And I thought there was some interesting twist at the end, so I'm looking forward to see how they continue to build the story and what the 4th book will hold whenever it does come out. And then the other 2 books that I read this month were in the Blood and Salt series, and I had read Kingdom of Blood and Salt in December, and then for January I read the next 2 books, which is Court of Vice and Death and Crowns of Stars and Fate. These books are by Alexis Cadler, and what I will say for them is they're really easy reads. Now, they're not going to be your most monumental, earth-shattering, give you all the emotions kind of book necessarily, but they're a fun little read. They are based loosely off of Greek mythology. You'll notice some different tie-ins to different things from Greek and Roman mythology in the book series. And I will say the characters, even though I do enjoy them, they're a little more surface level because it is such an easy read. You can easily finish these books in 1 to 2 nights each. They're just smaller books, really easy read. They're just kind of fun and a good little escape, but definitely doesn't give you like the big world building feel or the deep tie-in of the emotions with the different characters, but still fun. So definitely would suggest checking them out. Just know what you're getting into. It's definitely falls more into the light read category than something you're going to be super emotionally invested in. But I think sometimes we need that. We all need a break from, some of the big, long series that are super involved and have 20 different things going on at once. Sometimes we just need a nice sit down, read for a few hours, have a little escape, and be done with it. I did also finish Rise of the Ranger this month, which is by Philip Quintrell. Hopefully I'm saying his last name right. But that falls into your more epic fantasy. It was a pretty long book, great world building, but it took it took a minute to get invested in the characters in there besides the main character Asher. The other ones you kind of gotta flow through the book a little bit before you build any sort of emotional attachment for it. And then I believe there's 8 other books after this one, so it is one where you're committing for the long haul if you plan to read the whole series. So kind of my goals for February for the books I want to read is I want to read the next book in the after the Rise of the Ranger, which I believe the series is called Echoes of Fate. I also plan to read an Encyclopedia of Fairies. It sounds like a cute little read. Still feels like it'll have some substance to it, but I've only heard good things about it, so I want to get started on that one since I think the 3rd book comes out this month. So I'm going to try to get, hopefully, Encyclopedia of Fairies, the 2nd book in the series, just so I can be geared up for the 3rd. I am also currently listening to The House of the Cerulean Sea on Audible, so I do tend to do a mix of physical books, Kindle reading, and audiobooks. The audiobooks, it's a great thing that I can listen to while I'm at work, so I make it through a good number of audiobooks in a year, but you know, I also like to do the reading of a physical book or on my Kindle as well. So I'm kind of gonna be doing a mix of medias as far as the books I'll be reviewing each month, and I also would like to take you along and share some of my past favorites along with my current favorites and just kind of have a discussion about all things fantasy. So I hope you'll stick around for future videos. I look forward to sharing my passion of reading with you, and take care, and I'll catch you in my next video. Bye!